let's do demos and presentations. So we're going to kick it off with Union AI's Json Porter. So Json, you have been working on the FlyteConsole UI updates. Why don't you show us a little bit more?
Yeah, hi, I'm Json Porter. I lead the front end team here at Union. And yeah, we've been working on a lot of stuff lately. And I know we're pressed on time, so I'll make this really fast, but I wanted to walk you through some of the cool new features we've released in FlyteConsole. So let's start with a little slideshow here. Okay, so first up, just updates across the board on the site. And so one of the things that's been asked for a lot is some updates to the project dashboard. And so you can see now we've added things like workflows, tasks, and just informations about your domain configuration. And don't worry, we're going to demo these in real life in a second, but I just kind of want to go through these real fast. We've also added support for dynamic and nested graphs. Hooray, finally. So now you can drill into a graph and see all the different tasks all at once. We've also added timeline view, which is as an execution progresses, we can see the duration of each individual task. We've also added support for mapped tasks. This is a really, really asked for feature. And so we're really happy that this is working and we can show you guys this today. And then rerun. We've also added the ability, so sometimes like in a really big workflow, in the debugging case, for example, you might want to just figure out why one specific node isn't working. What this lets you do is that it takes the inputs from the workflow that occurred and lets you just rerun that task individually. So let us, oh, and last thing, I'm so sorry. We've also added support for structured data sets. And this is a really cool feature, and we're gonna show this off too. So let me jump into this. Okay, so let's go to snacks. And so here's the product dashboard. Not a lot to show you here, to be honest, but we do think this will be really useful. Going into the graph stuff. So let's say we wanted to show off how the nested stuff works. We can come in here, pick one of these executions, and you'll see that on this sub workflow, it's actually a nested. So it's a workflow and a workflow again. So we can come in here now on this, and now we can click on this button, and it shows us what was inside that. And you can go back and view the container or back like that. And I know that's not super impressive, but if we go to a much more advanced workflow, like this one, we can come in here. And so this workflow has a lot going on, lots of things. So when we come in here, I don't know why it loaded like that. Now this gigantic workflow, let's say we want to dig into one of these. Well, now we can click this, and now we can see that we are inside N3, 0, N3, and we can even go deeper, and we can even go deeper. And so we can nest all the way down. And if you want to go back, just click where you want to go on this little breadcrumb, and that's how that works. One more really cool feature that I think this is a great workflow to show off is our timeline view. So give a second to load, but again, it's this ability to zoom in and kind of see how long each individual task took. So you can drill into this, see what was loaded from cache, all kinds of things. So, so yeah, that is the graph and the timeline view. Now let's go to mapped tasks. Let's go back to snacks here. Actually, wait, hold on a second. I want to go to pod. Here we go. And so let's say we want to drill into this, see why this is not working. Now we can see on a map level the individual tasks, and you can navigate through them using this new breadcrumb that we built. I want to find a more interesting one though. Let's try, I think it was this one. So now we can also show the statuses of the constituent tasks. So we can see the ones in here that we're kind of stuck in running, or again, we can go to the failed. And again, you can use the breadcrumb. So that's pretty cool. Moving along, trying to keep track of time here. I wanted to show off, actually I want to go back to here to show off the rerun. So let's go back to create. This is that example of these gigantic workflows. And in the debugging use case, you don't want to start the whole workflow over just to test if your fix worked. So in this case, we can imagine, let's say we wanted to come down here to update and resolve customer account ID. So we can see the inputs and outputs here. But what's really cool is if we click rerun, we see those same things here. And if you click this, this will just execute just that one task to help with debugging. And then finally, let's go to structured data sets. Okay. So you see in here, now on the inputs and outputs, we give you this formatted JSON. And there's some cool things about this. The big one is that you can just copy really easily. Any of these little purple icons, you can hit copy and now to your clipboard, all that data. And I mean, if it's just 3 data points, not a big deal. But if it was bigger, you can imagine this is helpful. And we've actually also used this on one more small update I want to show, which is an update to the task detail page. Oh, not that one. Let me just copy and paste this. What was that one? There we go. So now in the task detail page, we also use the same JSON formatting. So anyway, that's just a few of the features we've been working on, some of the highlights, some of the big asked for features. Lots more cool stuff coming, but I will hand it back to you.
Awesome.